Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the online class of Biology for Engineers. In our last session, we have seen some of the topics of Unit 5, Biology and its Industrial Application. In today's session, we will continue with the Unit 5, the remaining topics of Unit 5. By this session, we will be completing the Unit 5. We will be discussing here the first topic, that is biomaterials. Biomaterials, as you can see here, these are the substances that has been engineered to interact with the biological systems. Biomaterials are the substances that has been engineered to interact with the biological systems. For the medical purpose here, to restore and replace the lost functions of the biological systems. So biomaterials we are using here for the medical purpose, to treat the tissue or to replace the tissue function of the body, to restore or replace the lost functions of the biological systems. The biological systems like the tissues that is not functioning properly of the human body can be replaced or it can be treated by the use of biomaterials. So biomaterials we are using here for the diagnostic of the different biological systems, to replace and restore the tissue functions of the body. We are commonly growing in culture here. In study of the blood proteins, processing of biomolecules, in biotechnological research we are using, in preparing the different therapeutic drugs, in medical applications for cardiovascular therapy related to heart, cancer therapy, HIV, surgical site infections and many more. All these are the applications of biomaterials. Biomaterials, it can be natural or synthetic. Synthetic will be synthesized in the laboratories using a variety of chemicals, utilizing different metallic components here like polymers, ceramics, composites. So biomaterials, it can be natural or synthetic. It can be synthesized in the laboratories using all these polymers, ceramics, composites, different materials used in the preparation of biomaterials. Composites are nothing but combination of two or more materials. Two or more materials will be combined to form a better component called as composite. So composite materials can also be used for the preparation of biomaterials. Example of composite here is graphite epoxy. Two different materials will be combined to form a better material, that is composite. Next, applications of biomaterials. Some of the common applications of biomaterials. The material what we are using for the biomaterial here are first one polymers. Different polymers are used for the preparation of biomaterials like acrylics, polyamides, polyesters, polyethylene, polysiloxanes, polyurethane. For joint replacement, artificial blood vessels, and for artificial skin, valves, cardiac assist devices, implantable pumps, all these will be made up of the polymers which we are using in the biological systems to replace or restore the different tissue functions of the body. Artificial heart, kidneys, liver, pancreas, bladders, bone cement, catheters, contact lenses, cornea, eye lens replacement, external and internal ear repairs, heart replacement, basements, all these are the applications of the biomaterials. Next we have is biopolymers. Biopolymers are the polymers which we are producing from different living organisms. Living organisms we are using for production of different polymers. Cellulose, starch, proteins, peptides, RNA and DNA are all the examples of biopolymers in which different monomeric units will be joined together as in the case of the biopolymers. So biopolymers are the polymers produced by living organisms like microorganisms, plants or trees. Different living organisms like microorganisms, plants or trees are used for the production of the biopolymers. Different monomeric units will be joined to form a polymeric unit by covalent bonds. When we see the classification of biopolymers here, biopolymers are broadly classified into natural polymers. Natural polymers are derived from living organisms. Types of natural polymers. When we see the types of natural polymers here, we have different types like plant originated polymers, animal originated polymers, microbial fermented polymers. Natural polymers, plant originated polymers, example is starch, soy protein, cellulose. Animal originated polymers, examples are chitosan, keratin, silk. Microbial fermented polymers are polyhydroxyalkanoids and polyhydroxybutyrate. All these are the examples of the different types of natural polymers. We have synthetic polymers also. Are the man-made polymers that is having useful applications in biomedical industry. Synthetic polymers like nylon, polyethylene, polyester, Teflon and epoxy are all the examples of the synthetic polymers. PLGA, polylactic glycolic acid and polylactic acids are the two different and important types of the synthetic polymers. PLGA, polylactic glycolic acid, is the synthetic biodegradable polymer. We are using this polymer in the biomedical applications of bone tissue regeneration and drug delivery. Tissue regeneration, bone tissue regeneration process in the biomedical industry. We are using this synthetic polymer, that is PLGA. Next we have PLA, polylactic acid. It is also a natural biodegradable polymer which we are seeing in animals, plants and microorganisms. For it, we are using this PLA for the treatment of different diseases. Different diseases will be treated by the help of this PLA. It is used for the controlled delivery of drugs, proteins, genes and vaccines. All these will be produced by the application of the PLA, polylactide. It is a biodegradable polymer. Next we have is here biosensors. Biosensor, as you can see the diagram, this is the diagram of biosensors. It is having the protective membrane, surrounding the biosensor. These are the instruments which we are using in the biomedical industry. So these are the small devices you can see here. Biosensors are the small devices which are having sensitive biological components like biochemical materials, and it will have some detectors that we are using for the qualitative determination of biochemical analytes. We are detecting here qualitative determination of some biological analytes by the use of this biosensors. biochemical materials like DNA, etc. As you can see here, biosensors will have different components, a thin layer of sensitive biological elements like enzymes. It will also have a transducer that will convert the biochemical information. So this is an electronic circuit that is producing the different signals and it is displaying the results. Different applications of biosensors we are using to monitor the blood glucose levels in diabetic patients, to detect the pathogenic organisms like disease causing organisms. Diseases will be caused by which organisms can be detected by the use of this biosensors. We are also using to identify different target molecules in the drug discovery by these biosensors, to monitor the air pollutants in urban areas and industrial environments. It is also used for the determination of folic acid, vitamin B12 and pantothenic acids. We are also detecting the contaminants in water by the use of this biosensors. Next we have is biomedical instrumentation. These are the groups of devices and the apparatus we are using in the biomedical industry for measuring the different data. When we see the classification of biomedical instrumentation here, it is mainly classified into two types, that is clinical instrumentation. Clinical instrumentation are the instruments used in the diagnosis, care and treatment of patients. Clinical instruments are the study of the instruments what we are using for the diagnostic of different diseases, for treatments of patients suffering with different diseases, and those working in this area will be the clinical engineers related to this industry, that is biomedical instrumentation. Research instrumentation will be related to several systems that will help in different individual organisms in biomedical research. Research instrumentation will be mostly in systems to make up the human organisms related to the research. Individual working in these areas will be called as biomedical engineers. In vivo measurements are the measurements which we are performing directly on the human body itself. in vivo is measurement performed directly on the human body are called as in vivo measurements. Measurement of pH values in the bloodstream is the example of in vivo measurements. Measurements of pH values in the bloodstream of the human body will be the example of in vivo measurements. In vitro measurements are the measurements done outside the human body by extracting some samples from the body. Then it is called as in vitro measurements are the measurements made outside the human body by extracting the samples from the body are known as in vitro measurements. Measurement of the pH value example we can take here outside the human body from the blood samples taken from the body are all the examples of in vitro measurements, that is measurements performed outside the human body by extracting the samples from the body. We have here next topic, that is transgenic plants. Transgenic plants are the genetically modified plants. Here we are modifying the plants to get the better improved plants which will give us higher yield of the products what we are obtaining from the plants. Here we will be adding some genes. We will insert some genes of different plants by physical, chemical and biological methods. Genes will be inserted into the transgenic plants to improve their agricultural value, to get a better products from the plants. Different methods what we are using for the DNA delivery. DNA will be inserted, or the genes will be inserted into the transgenic plants by these two methods, that is indirect or vector methods, direct or vectorless DNA transfer. This is the flow chart of gene transfer in plants, that is in the transgenic plants, how we are transferring the genes or the DNA by this different methods of gene transfer. Methods of gene transfer in plants, it can be direct or indirect. Direct we have physical methods and chemical methods. In the physical methods we have this electroporation process or microprojectile process or microinjection or liposome fusion or silicon carbide fibers. In the chemical methods we are using this polyethylene glycol mediated gene transfer or DEAE mediated gene transfer. In the indirect method we are using T1 plasmid of Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Bacteria we are using here in the indirect method of gene transfer in plants, or we are also using the different plant viruses for the transgenic plants. Transgenic plants. Transgenic plants are the genetically modified organisms, they will contain an additional or modified gene that we are inserting by various physical or chemical processes to improve the agricultural value of the plants. To improve the agricultural value of the plants, we are genetically modifying the plants. We are transferring the DNA or the genes in the plants to improve their agricultural value by these different methods of gene transfer in plants. So transgenic plants will be obtained by this different methods of gene transfer, which will have improved agricultural value. The yield will be more in this transgenic plants. Next we have transgenic animals also. Transgenic animals are also the genetically modified organisms which is being applied for different animals like poultry fish, different poultry fish and other animal types in order to produce their offsprings of improved quality. Improved quality offsprings will be produced by these transgenic animals or also the genetically modified organisms. Transgenic animals are also genetically modified organisms. Their genes will be altered. Additional genes will be inserted to produce offsprings of improved quality in different animals like fish, goats, and all the other animals will also be used. So transgenic plants and animals will have the offsprings of improved quality. Next we have cloning. Cloning, you can see here, it is a process. A single cell separated from the tissues will divide by the process of mitosis to form a group of cells called as clone. A single cell will divide by a process that is mitosis to form a group of cells called as clone, and the process we are calling it as cloning. Cells in the clone will be similar physical characters and also the genotype. Genotypic characters will be same in the cells in the clone. Karyotype here is the physical characters, genotype here is the genetic characters. Both genetic characters and the physical characters of the cells in the clone will be similar. Here in the cloning significance, when we see, we are using in the laboratory environment to study the genetic disorders which we are seeing in the different organisms. Genetic disorders will be studied in the laboratory environment. This is the characteristic feature of the cloning process or the significance of cloning. For cloning, we are also using it for organ transplantation and for obtaining different drugs, medicines, use of medicines for different diseases. It is the significance of cloning. Next we have bioforming. Bioforming, this is the last topic. By this we will be completing the unit 5. So bioforming is, here we are using the transgenic plants and animals to produce the large quantities of pharmaceutical substances. Vaccine and antibodies will be produced by these bioforming or molecular forming. We are producing the pharmaceutical substances like vaccines and antibodies. In bioforming, we are inserting a gene or the DNA coding for the pharmaceutical substance into plants. Especially we are using here DNA of the chloroplast. Chloroplasts are the cell organelles we have in the plants. Chloroplasts are the cell organelles which are present in the plants. We are using in this bioforming the cell organelles chloroplast. Chloroplasts are the membrane bound organelles they will contain the chlorophyll, a pigment. Each cell in the leaves of higher plants will have nearly 100 chloroplasts. So chloroplasts which are the cell organelles which we see in the leaves of the higher plants. So we are inserting the gene into the chloroplast genome. The desired protein can be obtained in large amounts. Different types of proteins will be obtained whatever we desire in large amounts in the pharmaceutical industry. So in the bioforming technology, we are using the plants, the cell organelle like the chloroplast is used to produce the desired pharmaceutical substances whatever we want for the use in humans and animals. So by this we have completed the unit 5. We have completed all the 5 units of biology by today's session. So thank you students.